Okay, so now I'm going to pivot to talk to you like you're a more experienced magic user, because I left a hook in the last video about my creators and talismanic magic. I'm noticing in this young generation of creatives, whether it be artist of any kind, this one's going to be called something creative art, talismanic magic and creative art, right? Okay, so let's talk about talismanic magic and creative art, because young creatives are artists. Young artists are magicians, whether they know it or not. What they're doing is magic. And I'm noticing that they are coming to their art by fixating on one artist or one style of art, or maybe a couple of artists from a handful of genre. And so I'm thinking about the Cal School of Arts or whatever. I'm not well versed in the literature, because I didn't understand why people had a hot take about that particular thing. But now I kind of see what they were talking about. When you have a ubiquity of art, when you have an art school, you start to run into the issues that the Renaissance ran into, where now one body of people, one corporation, can kind of control the messaging, because people they get used to the art form. They get used to the media coming out of the particular school having a particular message. And so I could see people now, I can look back and I can see people not articulating well their frustration with the Cal School of Arts, or whatever that is, the Cal art style, the Adventure Time style, right? That Cartoon Network style. They could kind of foreshadow that the social justice warrior movement was going to sneak into that, because a corporation was going to get ad revenue to do it. And so they kind of foreshadowed, what's that show with the crystals? Steven Universe. They kind of foreshadowed the shit show that show got itself into. Now, I don't think that anybody involved in that show, I don't think the show itself is any of the things that it got itself into, in that media backlash, all the stuff that got it and all those shows canceled. I'm not arguing that any of that stuff was legitimate, because I didn't think it was legitimate at the time, because I didn't understand. And what I'm saying is that they did not articulate themselves well at all, because they were talismaning and they didn't know it. And so this is what happens. You get into religious war because you're making gods of things you don't know you're making gods of. These schools were intentionally getting into religious warfare because it makes for good ad revenue, which is why I said in the last video that it doesn't make sense that writing was created for business. Writing was created for religion, because religion generates a shitload of business, a shitload of repeat business, because you can go out and buy your media-themed talismans, and then you can get involved in identity politics. And then the last 20 years make a lot of sense when you're talking about corporations as cult and religion.